Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another Annie's replay cast. This is going to be match number 269517819. Very excited to cast this one for you. Again, this was submitted through Moonduck's new replay service. Me, myself, Mott, Zyori, Mopax. You can all buy casts from us, and those refresh every week, so if we're out of stock, don't worry, just try again next week. But let's get on with it now. We've got Wowley on our Witch Doctor. We've got Seekabuyet on our Earth Spirit. Mid lane, we're going to have Mr. Cookies on the Arc Warden. Over here, we're going to have Crazy Diamond on our Ricky. And finally, Kikaracha on our Tusk. On the Dire side, this game is great playing the Shadow Shaman. Like that positive mental attitude, dude. Ranjit, School, Trousers on our Wraith King. Our mid laner is going to be Peter Norton on the Necrophos. Over here, we've got Ben Britton on our Axe. And finally, up in this top lane on our safe laner, we're going to have There's No Is Life Stealer is in my team. I can't tell if that's an I or an L. Either way, it looks like the bounty runes are going to be going towards the Dire, both of them being picked up by our Dire heroes. That's going to put Radiant at a bit of a disadvantage. Of course, not as huge of a disadvantage as it was a couple of patches ago. There's no experience at the beginning, so just a couple of pretty pennies go in the way of our Dire mid and core. Alright. We've got our Juggernaut having a little bit of difficulty. Again, he's trying to solo lane this one. Our off lane is going to be our Wraith King Shaman, so it's kind of that switch up. We're having Juggernaut do his own thing. If he can actually live and get a decent amount of last hits in this lane, it's super successful. But if he goes down once or twice, it's not going to be so easy. Bottom lane, Wraith King is definitely more of a mid to late game hero. Going to have a bit of a tough time up against this Earth Spirit, easily able to go through, get that boulder kick. We've got our Shaman with the shackles leveled up, but they do still need some sentry vision if they want to take on this Ricky. So hopefully when that ticks over to 200, we'll see some sentry wards bought up, just plop them in the lane, and maybe a nice easy kill on Crazy Diamond. Up in the top, we've now got Juggernaut dealing with a Tusk. If we're going to be entirely honest here, I haven't seen a Tusk in like 4 patches. Down in the bottom lane, we are going to have a neutral kill go in the way of Axe, but Crazy Diamond in some serious trouble here, but they don't have the vision. He fades just in time, so no kills coming out down bottom. Axe bit off more than he could chew, dealing with the Centaur. One more hit. He could have had it all, but now he just died, unfortunately. Again, looking at our last hits. Axe at the top of the chart, but that death in the jungle is going to set him back a little bit. Our Wraith King's doing really well in the offlane, even dealing with these pesty, annoying heroes. He's actually getting a decent amount of farm. Our mids are taking it slow. They're keeping it relaxed. We've got our little Necro coming in here. He's got his illusion runes rocking. You've also got Arc Warden doing Arc Warden things. Man, I fucking hate Arc Warden. He's just not a good concept of a hero. He's taking a lot of damage right now from these Necro illusions. Maybe a little bit of sleep at the wheel, but just gonna go back. He's got those shared tangos coming off cooldown a little bit. He's gonna grab up one of those, but either way, things are looking good for the Dire right now, just off the bat. You've got a lot of supports here on the side of the Radiant, really. No hard carries at all. Unless they're trying to just go full carry Ricky, which not really a thing. Carry Tusk, also not a huge thing. Carry Arc Warden can happen, but it's usually on the back of having another proper position 1. Alright, so I think this is a pretty defining game. On the side of the Dire, you've got a pretty nice balance of things. You've got maybe a little bit of lack of support. So the solo laning Juggernaut's a bit of a question mark, but he's definitely making it work for himself. He's picked up 2 last hits, not ideal, but hasn't gone down. He's dealing with the harass in lane decently well. You've got your jungling Axe, who's going to come out and be strong, be one of those cores. Necro mid, I mean, that's pretty typical. I really like that choice to go Necro, and you have that really hard late game carry of that Wraith King that can end up getting tanky, can eat all that damage. Peter Norton in a little bit of trouble here. Is going to be taking that flux from a little Arc Warden here, but Mr. Cookies, he's having some trouble. He's got himself 6 last hits, pretty much on par with the Necrophos, but down bottom we could have something going down here. The sentry's coming in, but Crazy Diamond, he's going to get faded out just a little bit too soon. Our School of Trousers, he's going to be holding on to that stun. Surprised he didn't actually look to unleash that stun, as he is only level 3, so it's not like he's saving up mana for Reincarnate. But either way, there are going to be a sentry ward still sitting here, so Ricky's coming back into sentry range. Gonna pop in that smoke cloud. Ranjit, School Trousers coming back in, throws out that stun. He's right on the edge of sentry vision. There's a mango eaten up. Do they have the damage to get down the Ricky? Looks like one more hit should do it. There we go. Shadow Shaman secures first blood. And they're gonna be able to get the Hex on the Earth Spirit as well. going to be holding off on that roll away for now. He's going to get under tier 1 tower and be safe, but very nicely played from our Shaman Wraith King combo. Now, our Witch Doctor Tusk, they're getting stuff done. They're getting their last hits here, but a farmed Tusk is only minimally scarier than a not farmed Tusk. Now, there's a Snowball Reinitiation. There's a nice little Maledict coming back in, and actually with this build, it could be a death for the Juggernaut. He's able to pick off the Tusk, but does go down himself, so a 1-for-1 trade will still end up favoring the Witch Doctor, I guess, because I don't know if Tusk is playing carry or what. It's all goofy. And Mr. Cookies pops in. He's going to be able to get off that little bit of damage there to Peter Norton, but nothing he can't deal with. Just going to get slowed up a little bit. Axe continuing to jungle up. Looks like he may have bitten off more than he can chew here. These guys might end up killing him unless he spins real lucky. We'll see if he's going to deny himself again to neutrals. He leaves his Tranquil Boots in the jungle pit. He's going back in to try to reinitiate. Can he finish off this camp? It looks like he should be able to. Tango regen coming in. I had my doubts, but Axe is going to get it done without dying again. The bottom lane, this game is great. He's thinking about it. He's got the shackles ready, but nice little smoke cloud there from the Ricky prevents reinitiation. So Wraith King just backing off. Overall last hits, sparing the Axe in the jungle, which you'd expect. Necrophos is actually going to be a big leader here, going down, trying to get that 6-minute rune. He's got a little bit of while to wait, so he's just going to sit back and get those quads strong, going up and down the stairs a couple of times, keeping himself fit, getting that cardio. Either way, Juggernaut dodging out another one of the ice shards. His last hits are not great. Offlane Juggernaut is not usually a thing unless he has a babysitter, so it's really starting to show. He's now 5-0 in terms of last hits, but you know, compare that to your Wraith King here in our offlane position, 13. He's definitely having some trouble here. This game is great. Could be in a little bit of trouble. Smoke Cloud going to be off the money, and now underneath the tower, Crazy Diamond. You are crazy, sir. That is not a place for a level 4 Ricky to dive. Earth Spirit going to get back underneath his own tower, playing it safely in his lane. Arc Warden going to go for the gank here onto our Axe. We'll be able to finish him off. Meanwhile, though, Necrophos is able to get a lot of lane farm and a lot of push onto the rest of this tower, so going to be relatively even. Overall, losing the Axe is unfortunate, but it's not like he lost his Tranquil Boots. He still has them in his inventory. Did not get denied by our little Arc Warden buddy. Alright, Tusk picks up phase boots here, so he's going to go for more of an aggro Tusk build. Going to be building a little bit core, but building Tusk as a core honestly just doesn't seem super viable in this meta. The one thing that they're doing really well is keeping Juggernaut really out of experience range, out of last hit range. He's struggling a whole bunch just to get his basic items. He's still not even rich enough for phase boots right now. He can finish them off, but at this point Juggernaut should have more than phase boots. You should have at least an Aquila. He should have something to his name. If he's building a Battle Fury, he should have that Ring of Health. So we'll see if he's able to come back from this. It's Strug City for him. The bottom lane's going really well. Mid's going all right. The Juggernaut is going to get killed finally up top off of a deep dive from our Witch Doctor and Tusk. Tusk is still level 5, so didn't have to commit his Walrus Punch for that. Nice little play there from our Witch Doctor, who did commit his Death Ward. Alright, Arc Warden starting to rotate here. He's waiting here. Hasn't popped out his double. He's just sitting with the real dude underneath Dire Observer Vision. So the Dire know exactly what's going on here. This game is great. Probably going to eat a stun. It's actually eaten up by that little creep. Nice play there. There's that slow coming back in, but Shackles connect. Looks like our Wraith King, he's so scared. He goes in and out and in and out, and the indecision ends up killing off his teammate. Poor Shaman. Dealing with that. If the Wraith King had kind of manned up a little bit sooner, they could have gotten something done. The double from Arc Warden is killed off. Now Earth Spirit coming back in. He doesn't have his Magnetize, so it looks like the Juggernaut, he's thinking about going back in, but unfortunately, no Omni Slash for him. He already spent it up. He's slowed up by Mr. Cookies. You've got your Necrophos with the Scythe, but I don't think it's enough damage to get down our Arc Warden, so he's just going to be laying down those little booby traps and heading back towards mid. He's doing an alright job. Going to be going towards that Midas, I assume. He's almost there, in fact. Alright, Ricky TPing back bottom. They know he's going to be there, so Axe does feel safe jungling. Again, he can drop his Tranquils, because they know that Ricky's occupied bottom. He hasn't really started to roam. It looks like he's trying to play more of a core Ricky. Again, the lack of cores in the Radiant is pretty peculiar. I'm actually more used to seeing games without any support. It's just that 5-core lineup than I am seeing, you know, 5 roaming support heroes rather than real hard position ones. The Arc Warden can, of course, scale up very, very strong. He can be a killing machine if he goes for that Midas Rapier build and just sends his double into all these fights, keeps his real dude safe, but it's going to be a long while until he gets up to that point. Our Necropho's coming in again. He has that scythe ready, but the damage just isn't there. The burst, not quite up to par. Hopefully our Axe is able to really step it up here. He's struggling to find his Blink Dagger. It's 9 minutes in. He's at almost 2k golds, but he's definitely playing a dangerous game with these jungle creeps, dropping those tranquils, going in, getting that extra armor from the call, but he's been keeping himself real low and realizing that the Arc Warden can and will gank now. He's got to be a bit more concerned about this kind of stuff. Alright, down bottom, Dire gonna lose some of that vision control as Red Spirit's able to pick up some sentries and deward the lane, but Juggernaut's ready to go in. He's got that Omni Slash up in 20 seconds, and now he's getting a little bit more farm to his name. Already found 13 last hits, and he was at 6 before. Our Tusk, though, he's getting a lot of space. He's just going around punching shit up. He's got himself a Claymore, so most likely going in for that Shadow Blade build. But down bottom, there's going to be a rotation. We are going to have our Shadow Shaman coming in. He's hasted. He wants to get something done, but the vision, it's going to be tricky. They've got a Dust of Appearance, and Ricky has no way to dispel that right now. But it's all a matter of just getting things started. And right now, it seems like the Juggernaut, he's out far. The rest of his team's kind of backing off. He's just manning up, going in for the Omni Slash, but it jumps to the neutrals. Oh, that is unfortunate. He just doesn't have the speed to catch up to that Tusk, who also has phase boots. So right now, looks like Ricky going to be jumping in and out here. Maledict not going to be on the money. So Juggernaut now taking 4 heroes for a ride, but he is caught out in the ice shards now. There's going to be a cast. There's going to be an Arc Warden coming in. Death Ward dropped, and Juggernaut loses his life again. Unfortunate for him, but the rest of the Dire is farming up pretty well. Our Necro getting a little bit done. He's 3rd on the last hit chart. Going to be flying in at that Staff of Wizardry. So we'll see if he wants to go in for Yules, if he wants to rush immediate Aghanims, or if he wants to go for something like a Force Staff. All good options here. Tusk getting a little bit close to that Shadow Blade. Needs about 1,000 more golds. And then he can be very sneaky. There's a lot of gank potential for the Radiant, but the raw late game hard carry, it's going to get real tough for Radiant to take this game past 30-35 minutes. Alright, Axe has finally picked up his Blink Dagger. So let's see what's going to be happening here. Mr. Cookies is going to be using that Midas here. Again, with the slight changes to Arc Warden, nerfed him down a little bit. He can't use just cloned up rapiers, but I have still seen Arc Wardens go for just raw rapiers. Even in this meta, I've seen them go for it. They just get a shitload of damage. They use their little slows to keep them safe. They have their Tempest Double, take up all the damage and sponge it up, but we'll see what he's going to be going for here. He's saving up a little bit of gold, moving up to this top lane, keeping that farm going as Juggernaut gets a little bit of space. He's going to be slowed down now. He's crawling. They've got the Witch Doctor to follow up. They've got the Coconut. They've got the Maledict. Will it be enough to take him down? He's spinning away, but he's got no TP. I don't think this looks great for the Juggernaut here. He's going to be taking a bunch of damage there from the Arc Warden. And oh god, the Ghost. It's coming after him. It's going to be a killing spree now for the Witch Doctor, who's been doing phenomenally well. In fact, picking up that Shadow Amulet for himself. So he could be going in for that Glimmer Cape, potentially Shadow Blade if he's feeling a little cheeky. Alright, so our Wraith King is continuing to farm up. He's got his treads. He's picking up that Sage's Mask if he wants to go for Keela. If he wants to go ahead and pick up Echo Saber action. World is his oyster. Now this game is great. Feeling good, wrapping around. He's got to watch his health though. He's super squish. He's got 840 total HP. He's got 2 armor. Now nice deep dive there from our Wraith King. Gotta be careful not to spend up all his mana because he needs that reincarnate to come back. Shackle under the tower. Game is great. It's taking tower aggro. It's all worth it though as his wards are able to kill off the Earth Spirit. Now there's gonna be a stun coming back in onto our Tusk. Nice little hit there. Will kill off both heroes in this bottom lane. Unfortunately, there's going to be no one left on the Radiant to defend this. They are going to bring in the Arc Warden. He's walking in. He's got his little double ready to go, but he's not using it. We're going to get that slow coming off. There he goes. There's now 2 heroes for the price of 1, and Wraith King could be in some trouble. He's silenced up, but will be coming back to life. Axe leaves the jungle, shows off that Blink Dagger. The Scythe comes in, and Necro gets a kill onto the Ricky. Ricky's dead in the grave for 40 seconds. They are able to get the kill on the Arc Warden as well. So nice little killing spree for the Wraith King. Again, Wraith King typically picked up just a farm for the first 20 or so minutes before he's really able to fight, but this guy's now 3-0-3. He's feeling good. He's got some decent farm for himself, getting close to that Echo Saber. So it's all coming up Dire right now. The Axe leaving the jungle, again, has 1,000 gold on top of that Blink Dagger. And as far as things in the Radiant, there's not a whole lot of huge item pickups. The Glimmer Cape is pretty big for the Witch Doctor, but does it translate to raw damage? Does it translate to super survivability? Not necessarily. I think the longer this game goes, the more free it is for the Dire just to go stack up, get actual carry items, get actual survivable items, because I mean, if you have enough HP to tank through a couple of shots from the Arc Ward and a couple of strikes from the Ricky, a Witch Doctor Cask and a Walrus Punch, then you've pretty much eaten everything the Radiant has to offer. Alright, Necro picking up that Dagon. That's a real early Dagon. So it wasn't an Ags, wasn't a Force, wasn't a Yules. He's going just raw damage, dude. Peter Norton doesn't fuck around. He's gonna be walking up. He knows he can get a cute little pick there. He might not know exactly that the Ricky is in the fray. Probably senses that he's not alone, but Peter Norton, I don't think you can do this all by yourself here. We're gonna be bringing in, this game is great. He's now sitting on some good vision there, got that dust of appearance, and it looks like he's going in for that nice early blink dagger. Let's see if Peter Norton shows off that Dagon. Little zip zap here, and the stun from downtown. The Wraith King's able to get the kill. Nice work there, and a nice call secures the kill on the Earth Spirit as well. Oh god, it looks like it hurts. That was a fantastic showing from the Dire. We talked about Necro not being able to do it alone. Well, he brought in all his friends. Now Ricky's coming in. Axe got to be really careful not to drop his tranquils here, because that could be real unfortunate. There's going to be a Hex. Shadow Shaman showing it off. Is able to get the dust here. Pops out the ward. So it looks like Tusk is actually trapped in the ice shards. Shaman with his last breath might be able to get revenge on the Tusk that took his life, but Axe is too far away to go in for the blink call. Now there's a pretty deep chase onto this Wraith King. He has no reincarnate yet. He's going to micro himself and just go underneath that tower, but this Arc Warden stun might be enough. He's going to be bringing in the Courier behind him. That's dangerous. Now Ricky, he's got his eyes on the prize, but doesn't realize that there's a Culling Blade Axe right behind him. Now Ben Bitten is going to be able to get back, and Juggernaut, he's angry. He's got no Omni Slash, but he can sure spin. He's going to be pinging out onto Mr. Cookies, and Peter Norton wants to chase him down. He's got that little pulse coming back in, and wow, this Wraith King showing some balls, just gets in there at low health and kills off the Arc Warden. Things are now 7-12, switching over to net worth. It's going to be 3 heroes on the Dire on top of that Radiant. The Arc Warden, it feels like he's trying his best, but he's just not getting a whole lot out of that Midas. He's now died twice with this Midas off cooldown. And, I mean, how does he really build this up? He could go for, I've seen like a Desolator on Arc Wardens before if he wants to go full split push. I've seen like a Maelstrom being picked up if he wants to just get a lot of wave clear, but clearly Rapier is not going to be the option he's saving for. I just don't know how you get the most out of this Arc Warden, and there's such a heavy burden on his shoulders because there's really not a whole lot else on the Radiant that can hard carry. I mean, the Tusk, yeah, he's got a Shadow Blade, but what does that amount to? That amounts to, oh, a sneaky Walrus Punch every once in a while. It's not a whole lot of raw call now. Speaking of call, Axe a little bit off the money here. Nice coconut bouncing around. This Witch Doctor, I mean, he's doing everything possible in his power to help out these team fights, but he's just a Witch Doctor. I mean, this Necro, again, he gets the Arcane Boots for that mana sustain, and he's just building raw Dagons. We'll see if he goes all the way to 5 before picking up his next item. With all the kills he's gotten so far, would not be surprised to see an Aghanim Scepter as an early pickup. Now Axe comes in, gets the call onto 2. Unfortunately, his Shaman hits the deck, and now it's going to be Axe versus the world. He's hasted up, so he's able to get back behind his tier 1 tower just fine, and Peter Norton continues to farm. He's doing pretty well in terms of last hits now. Almost 50. There he goes. 50 last hits to his name. Almost 1,000 gold, so we'll see if we're getting that Dagon level 3, or if we're going to switch over to another build. Axe going in for Blade Mail, Wraith King, similar story. Could be going in for the Assault Cuirass, but we'll see if he's able to get that up quick enough to make it worth it. On the Radiant side, new item pickups. It looks like our Earth Spirit going to slowly work its way towards an urn just to get those charges rocking. You've got your Witch Doctor. I mean, he's got the Glimmer Cape super early. He had that thing like right around the 10-11 minute mark, but you know, it's great, but is it exactly what his team needs at the moment? I don't know. We'll see if it saves him in these upcoming fights. It's going to be a group up from the Radiant. They've got the Shadow Shaman wards up again, so probably wanting to get some push out of that. Wraith King, I mean, he's feeling on top of the world. Already an Echo Saber treads. He's got 4-0-5 as his KDA. This guy, he just hasn't gone down yet. His reincarnate's at the ready too, so as long as he budgets his mana correctly, he shouldn't be going down in this fight either. There's going to be a Miss Maledict call onto 3. Very nice work, Axe. The stun coming in. The Culling Blades flying every which way. The wards dropped perhaps a little prematurely, but they will be able to get 3 for nil so far. Nice little dust there. Does get the reveal onto Ricky. God, Shaman with the predict. There's going to be the Witch Doctor going in, trying to get that ward off. Can Juggernaut stop the channel, though? Well, it looks like he didn't stop the channel, but he killed the Witch Doctor, who was gonna just drop that ward till his last breath, and that's what he did. You gotta respect that conviction, but unfortunately it's not gonna result in a tower defense. It's gonna result in a full team wipe. 5 for nothing on the side of the Dire. Very well played for them so far. Alright, now 20 minutes of the game. Overall net worth going to be over 7,500 in favor of the Dire. And to be honest, I don't like to call games before they're over, but I don't really see what the Radiant can do to get back in this. Witch Doctor's Death Ward is really the biggest source of damage that anyone on the Radiant has. I mean, Arc Warden, he can go zip zap him up real good, but it's just not worth it. Now again, his Midas is still off cooldown. He hasn't used that in quite a while. There he goes. So he's now going to be able to pick that up. Uses that double Midas. There we go. But meanwhile, there is going to be the Earth Spirit getting a kill onto the Necrophos. That's going to be a big sum of gold going his way, but immediate turnaround, immediate punish coming back in. Ricky Smoke Cloud doing some work. They want to go in onto the Axe, but I mean, he's blade mailed up. He ain't scared of nothing. Witch Doctor trying to get the most out of that Glimmer Cape. Now it looks like he's going for an urn as well. I don't know if that's miscommunication or this team just really likes urns. But I don't think that's going to be the best bang for their buck now. Looks like Ricky's sniping around, but unfortunately camping the Juggernaut instead of the Axe means he's not going to steal any Tranquil Boots today. Crazy Diamond. He's rotating. He's trying to get something done here, but again, small things like having his power treads on strength rather than agility. Just not being able to... There he goes. He puts down his ward. So he is going to get some nice vision coming in. He knows what's coming out, but he doesn't have a whole lot of agi items, and Ricky is an agi hero. So building up strength is not going to be super impactful, even though his team is desperately lacking strength heroes. I just don't know if Ricky can fill those shoes. You've got TPs in coming in from the rest of the Dire. This game is great. He's low health. I mean, his spirit is just 100% full. They've also got the Omni Slash available on the Juggernaut, so all he has to do is clean up those creeps. He can jump right in on Mr. Cookies. You can tell he's thinking about it. But Dire, they've been really careful not to overexert themselves. They haven't really taken crazy fights that are nonsense. They haven't really pushed past where it's safe to push. Now mid lane, we're going to see it go down here. You've got the Wraith King coming in. He's going to be under the bubble now. The Glimmer Cape will end up saving the Wraith King this time. Oh god, oh god. Wraith King in some trouble here. He's not going to spend up his mana. He's going to wait for that reincarnate. Witch Doctor was able to get back to safety. I misspoke earlier, not Wraith King. But either way, that's going to be a respawning Wraith King back to full health, full mana, no Arc Warden. So the closest thing to a carry that the Radiant have is now dead for 30 seconds. So this tower is going to take some serious harass. Looks like Wraith King building that Mithril Hammer. We'll see what he's up to with that one, because well, he could just go some serious raw damage right now. Alright, Ricky's hanging around some dangerous territory. Sentry Ward popped down. Omni Slash committed. Ricky's able to pop into that Tricks of the Trade, but that does not last forever. Now, nice little call in. Axe is hot on the heels of this Ricky, but meanwhile, there's going to be a shackle onto the Earth Spirit. Perhaps a more valuable target. Earth Spirit has the Magnetize. Able to get off the Magnetize. That could result in some kills. They're going to get the kill onto the Shadow Shaman, but immediate revenge comes out. They get the kill in return. Ricky, Earth Spirit are dead. Now, this Wraith King has to be really careful. He will end up dying here. No reincarnate for him. That's a huge kill for the Arc Warden. That's a mega kill streak going his way. Almost 700 gold now to work with. He's got 2,600 gold total. So we'll see what Mr. Cookies is going for here, because he's now got some funds. Alright, Necro with that Dagon level 3. He's still saving up. Seems like he just wants to go straight raw damage, capitalizing on the fact that Radiant are incredibly squishy. I mean, checking their overall HP. You've got Tusk with 1,200. You've got, Earth Spirit with 1,280. 1,400 on our Arc Warden, but that's really it. That is not a whole lot. The armor is lacking as well. Whereas our Wraith King here, he's just feeling good. Everyone's feeling... They're doing what they need to do. It's basically the flat end of it. Axe can be flying in the cloak. So he's already got that Vanguard completed. Let's see what else he's looking for. Peter Norton. Go Ags, man. Necro Ags is just too strong to ignore, especially with all the scythes he's been landing. So maybe he'll level up the Dagon all the way to 5. Maybe he'll take a quick break and grab up a point booster and switch over to that ultra punishing scepter. Again, when you die with that Aghanim scepter, you ain't coming back. Shadow Shaman running around. I mean, he's got 13 assists. That lane down bottom was so successful, and he's been doing a great job just keeping everything working for his team. The vision's been great. He's sitting on 2 more wards now. So overall, Dire vision's been really good. Right now, they're at a bit of a disadvantage. The vision for the Riki is a bit lacking. The sentries and the dusts are few and far between, but honestly, the Riki's kind of just been jumping into fights anyway, so I don't even know if they need that sentry vision. Now our Wraith King here, he does have that reincarnate. This could be a good option for the Dire to actually take a team fight here and capitalize on the Radiant getting a little bit too greedy. So Axe is going to jump in, gets a 3-man call. Now the Necro coming in, dropping that Death Pulse. There's going to be a Scythe, drop it in, gets the kill onto the Tusk. Juggernaut grabs a regen rune on the back line, so that's going to be, oh boy, 3 heroes dead. The Witch Doctor, again, just barely escaping. Riki coming in from the tail end here, and now that's where that vision is going to come in. But there we go. There's going to be that Dire sentry ward already put down. They don't have stuns to lock them in place. Instead, they keep their eyes on the prize. They want to go in for this tower, so Jug with the healing ward should be able to do that. And realizing there's no dust, no sentries, no gem, they're going to leave Riki B for now. Alright, so Radiant right now, they're sitting back. Crazy Diamond, Crazy Boy hopping into that Tricks of the Trade. Nice little work from that Witch Doctor Death Ward, but again, without any tools to really hold them in place, it's hard to actually have them sit there and take that damage. So Dire feeling none worse for wear, maybe just waiting for some ultimates to come back off cooldown. They could go take a Roche, they could go push out other lanes. They still got a lot of work to do top. Juggernaut did have a really tough lane, so they've got a tier 1 to cut through before they can even get close to thinking about tier 3s here. So maybe their struggles mid. May have to take a quick pause and go back to clear out top and bottom. Overall net worth is going to be about 12,000 in favor of the Dire at this point. Similar story in terms of XP, so translating to levels, I mean, that's pretty significant here. You've got your Wraith King, your Necrophos, and your Axe with almost level 3 ultis. I mean, they're just a good team fight away from getting those level 3 ultis, whereas your Earth Spirit on the side of your Radiant team doesn't even have his level 2. So that Magnetize that is a significant source of damage as far as Radiant damage goes is definitely not as potent as it could be. Net worth starting to show that slope as well. Axe doing really, really well in this early game with the itemization he's going for. He should be able to carry well into the mid game as well. Not going to fall off anytime soon. The control from Call, super, super valuable. And of course, because the heroes in the Radiant are so squishy, the Culling Blade, it's going to be nice just to quickly bop, 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 clean them up one by one. Your Wraith King, double damage going to wear off for him, but he's got a BKB now full up. Just goes in, takes a quick pause from his Assault Cuirass. Now, nice little call, but Glimmer Cape from this Witch Doctor will be able to keep him safe. Unfortunately, the Earth Spirit can't say the same. Nice little clean up there. They want to go in. They got to find this Witch Doctor in the back lines, although no one's really struggling. I mean, they're just eating this Death Ward damage like it's nothing. Wards drop maybe a little bit prematurely, although the rest of the Radiant are still sitting around. There is going to be a quick shackle onto the double. They get down the Arc Warden double. Another Culling Blade. This Axe is on the money. His Culling Blade kills are crazy. Now, there's going to be the Frozen Sigil, but they are able to focus it down in the meantime there. It's slowing everyone down, but not slowing them down enough to miss that kill, so they're just going to leave the Sigil be. They let it off with a warning for now, but they're going back in towards the mid lane. Again, ignoring top, just letting creeps take care of that thing. They want to go for tier 3s, but there's only a Witch Doctor up, and Witch Doctor has no ult. There's really nothing he can do. The net worth starting to spiral out of control. Buyback status it's not great on the side of the Radiant. But yeah, they can get the Arc Warden and Riki back in, but the death timers are so low, and Radiant are already so far behind that is it really worth it to spend the money just to throw another body into the fire? Maybe not. So Dire looks like they're pulling it off. This Wraith King that's typically a much later game hero, even at 28 minutes in, is feeling incredibly strong. I mean, he is 7-1-16. He's been killed once. His ultimate's at the ready again, so it's going to be real hard for Radiant, even in their own high ground, to focus him down. He's going to take a Maledict. He's going to get slowed down a little bit, taking some beatings from Arc Warden. Peter Norton could be in some trouble here as Dagon can't save him now. Nice little ward there to focus down our Wraith King, but again, he's coming back, full health, full mana, stun, ready to go. He's pretty angry about that now. There's going to be the Axe coming back in. Going back through. Now, for some reason, this Vampiric Aura has been toggled off. Not quite sure what, That's an error, I hope. Crazy Diamond could take a beating here. Oh god, the Omni Slash finishes off too. Nice little double kill there for the Juggernaut. He's going to have to walk through some fire as Mr. Cookies puts down a couple of booby traps, but nothing that the Dire can't deal with now. They are a Necrofoe short, but still feeling strong, still feeling like they can take off the world. It's now just Radiant scrambling to deal with the onslaught of creeps coming into this mid lane. Again, hopefully we turn this Vampiric Aura on. It's like a free Vlad's for everyone, but, you know, if he chooses to keep it off, it's just hard mode, dude. He's just playing hard mode. He's putting himself at a handicap, so if he wins, it's an even bigger achievement. Alright, Wraith King going in here. He's just going to be farming up his next big item, most likely Assault Cuirass. Because he does already have that chainmail. The blade mail is already up on the axe. If they want to go double blade mail, they can. Again, everyone on Radiant is so squishy that it's actually kind of viable at this point, but Assault Cuirass might just be the icing on the cake for Radiant to say, oh god, we can't kill literally any of them. Now Necro, he's got that full Dagon 5. He's got 1,200 gold on top of that. Hopefully a point booster up next, because there's nothing else he can do to upgrade that burst damage. Alright, Roche coming out for the Dire. I mean, they're just so far ahead now. Almost 20,000 gold in their favor. And XP definitely over 20,000 at this point. So all they've got to do is pick up an Aegis, put it on one of their slightly weaker heroes, and charge in and finish off the Radiant once and for all. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do that with this next big push coming up. Alright, our Shadow Shaman. Looks like he's picking up that Hooded Defiance, so going to be going in for a pipe. I mean, he just wants to keep his team safe from magic damage, because at this point, that's all the Radiant are spitting out, is that magic damage. So pipe is definitely the right option here. Axe could go in and build up that Crimson Guard. He already has a pipe. It's a little bit of miscommunication coming in. We've got dicks on the mini-map, courtesy of the Radiant. But, you know, sometimes you got... Oh, there's a vagina. Hairy vagina. Anyway, let's focus on the game, as the Arc Warden's really starting to express himself. I mean, he's just got to be frustrated. He's sitting back. He's 3, 6, and 6. Yeah, he's got the Hand of Midas. Looks like he's building into some nice big items. He's going to be going, trying to get that sheep stick up, but it is a long way up. He's still got to get the rest of the components, and he's only got 200 gold to work with. Meanwhile, it looks like Dire, they're not messing around. They're just going to go move as 5 because they know the Radiant can't punish that, and just continuing to go take on his towers. And, I mean, it's put in the safety bubble, but safety bubble can only last for so long. Ricky's coming in deep. There is going to be a Maledict off the money. Coconut bouncing. There's going to be a Death Ward. It's going to be hitting onto Axe now, but again, he's just fine taking that up. Crazy Diamond going to get dropped by the Scythe. There is going to be a Walrus Punch by this Tusk. Maybe he gets the kill onto Peter Norton. Peter Norton running away, though. Tusk cannot catch up. He's going to get killed off by the Omni Slash. Meanwhile, our Axe is taking a lot of damage, goes in for that Blade Mail, and is doing a fair amount of work. Nice Shaman wards drop. Not only are these going to kill off all the Radiant heroes, they now focus the tower as well. Very well played from I Love This Game. And now one of our lone survivors, our Earth Spirit, is going to be killed. So Witch Doctor, the only one to live through that fight. The Tier 3 soon going to be focused down after the Tier 2 falls. Looks like Dire might just be unstoppable. Now a 20,000 net worth lead at 32 minutes in the game. Dire are ready to end it once and for all. Axe is going to be going deep for this one. Glimmer Cape again on the Witch Doctor. He's doing everything he can. The Witch Doctor, he's playing fine. In fact, no one on the Radiant is like playing excessively poorly. It's just the fact that their hero lineups can't do anything against these big strength tanky heroes on the side of the Dire. So a little stun there from the Wraith King. I mean, this guy feels immortal now. He's still got his Black King bar. He's now got an Aegis as well, so there's no way he dies. Like, he has to be killed 3 times in a row in order to go down to the grave. See if he goes down once here. Looks like he could be going. He pops that Reincarnation, but Axe is still fighting this one out. Axe is getting a little bit hasty. Lands that Culling Blade, but he himself is in a little bit of danger there. Witch Doctor gets the credit for that kill. Now Wraith King in that BKB form still has to be careful. He's still got the Aegis, but man, that can't get too nuts. Stun comes back in. Oh, the Scythe crushes down that Ricky's will to live. And it looks like Necrophos will end up going back to that Aghanim Scepter. Our Wraith King does end up popping the Aegis, but now coming back with full health, full mana, and a stun ready to rock. That's something real difficult to deal with. So even though Dire are just getting crazy with it, they're pushing out a little bit too far, they're losing potentially easy fight, they're not really focusing on objectives, they're still not going to get punished too heavily. Peter Norton will end up hitting the deck, but looks like our Wraith King has something to say about that. Again, the Juggernaut has the Omni Slash available. We'll see who he jumps in on. So he wants to save it here. He's taking a couple of tower shots to put himself at that handicap, but going to be zipping around underneath the safety bubble. He's going to be looking to spin here, trying to go and get that Witch Doctor down, but he has his healing ward up. I mean, he's feeling no pressure right now. Earth Spirit, he's got that urn, but no charges, as it seems like Radiant just can't find kills. Witch Doctor, he's got one charge on his urn, but again, the double urn strat, unfortunately not going to be fruitful this time. So overall net worth, it's looking pretty stacked. Our Dire team are doing really well. Our Shaman, I mean, he's sitting down a little bit, but he's done everything a Shaman can possibly do. He's just so naturally squishy that you don't expect a huge chunk of net worth on him. So he's got his pipe. Again, a little bit of question mark on that pipe, as Axe already had one as he started to build it, but I guess you can just kind of use it double time. If you're splitting up here, if you're going for that split push right now, you know, Shaman sticks with Juggernaut, Axe sticks with Wraith King, and pop the pipes one by one and get it done. Alright, our Juggernaut here, he's gone for that Manta Diffusal build, which is that early fighting, not going to farm up with Battle Fury. I mean, he means business. He can just jump on you right now. Honestly, with the Omni Slash he's been putting out, he could definitely get some use out of an Aghanim Scepter, but we'll see what he wants to pick up. 2,100 gold in the bank. Could be going in for something like a Scotty if he really wants to. Can pick up a Basher if that's what he's looking for. After he clears up the Ancients, we'll see him head into the secret shop. And what are you looking to pick up here? Looks like it will be a Demon Edge. So perhaps a Monkey King Bard who wants to hit underneath that Ricky Smoke or the Arc Warden safety bubble. Now, ward's being dropped here by the Shadow Shaman. Not quite sure what that's all about. Unfortunately, won't have those to push in onto the tier 4s. Oh, he wants that Witch Doctor so bad. But that one urn charge is going to pay off. In fact, this game is great. Does end up hitting the deck. Wraith King's now got something to avenge. He wishes he had that MKB, but the goddamn, the Scythe without the full Aghanim Scepter. Tusk cannot buy back. He's dead for 85 seconds at 30 minutes into the game. Now, that seems balanced. That's all good and fun to deal with. Alright, so clean up here on aisle 3 as the tier 2 tower goes down. It looks like the Dire are going to be ready to group up and push those tier 3s again. Of course, Shadow Shaman wards would be nice to wait for, but I think the Dire can still go Divine mode, even without the Shadow Shaman in the picture. Juggernaut feeling safe, just eating up some of those tower shots. Does have his healing ward on cooldown, so he's got to be a little bit careful. Can't just take too much damage. But either way, safety bubble, not going to last forever. Okay, another safety bubble. But this time the double is going to be all out of luck. So you've got your Witch Doctor ready to go. He's got that Death Ward. It's been doing a lot of work. He's trying to go for the Aghanim Scepter, it looks like, but didn't pick up the point booster first. A little bit curious on that. But of course, desperate times, desperate measures. There were points in the game where he certainly could not make it to the secret shop without getting killed. Now Shaman's respawned. He's going to be joining the party. He's following up behind his Juggernaut, who's got the Omni Slash ready to go. Looks like it will be the MKB pickup for the Juggernaut. He needs one more Javelin. He's going to be able to just cut right through that smoke cloud. Not going to give a crap about the Ricky, and that's really all Ricky's been contributing. I mean, a couple of smoke clouds, a couple of backstabs, and that's about it. Now, stun here onto the Witch Doctor. He's got that Glimmer Cape, but there's going to be a Blade Mail call. Axe really wants to get this done. Is he actually able to dive deep enough for this? There's going to be a Culling Blade, but Little Hex is walking his way through. Oh god, this Witch Doctor ward doing a lot of work, but there's just nothing left to be done. It's beyond godlike streak for the Juggernaut, killing spree for the Wraith King, and now the lone survivor, this Tusk, will be punished underneath his own set of racks. The Ricky, he's just watching it. Tusk, you're pathetic. The Shaman's had enough. Does not want to deal with the carry Tusk, who picks up a Desolator and a Shadow Blade and nothing else. Again, Radiant the entire game. Just really, really struggling, not having a proper position 1 core. The Arc Warden tried his best. Ends up picking up the Scythe of Vice at the very end by selling his Midas. But it's still not enough. Even the Hex cannot keep his team safe. There's just too many targets to focus. And they're too tanky now. Crazy Diamond. Oh god, the Dagon Scythe. Necro just full healthed him. The Ancient going down. The Fortify comes out from the Radiant, but they know it's all over. They're all dead. Earth Spirit respawns, but it's to no avail. Dire finished this one off extremely cleanly. In the end, it was almost 40,000 net worth in their favor. So, just so you know, 5 core lineups rarely work, but 5 support lineups work even less. That is the lesson we learned here today, so very well done, Dyer. Picking a nice lineup there. Again, Shadow Shaman, Wraith King lane went really well. Juggernaut struggled at first, but of course by the end he was beyond godlike. Very well played by all members. Shout out to the Radiant for trying, for keeping that morale up, but eventually it just proved too much. They couldn't get those big guys down, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this replay cast. If you want your own replay casted, head on over to moonducktv, click on replay cast, select your favorite caster, and well, if you guys have any feedback, let me know how I did. But again, have a great day and see y'all later.